Welcome to another edition of Space Weather. Checking out the sun in 171 angstroms. No sunspots. Large coronal hole rotating in. And some magnetic structures. Let's zoom in. If you're wondering if I think there's a spaceship there, no, I don't think there's a spaceship there. Looks like a small coronal mass ejection down here. Right there. Also another structure over here. Looks like it might be creating some ejecta also. And what do we see there? It looks like some activity rising. Let that play through. Right in this area. Something going on. And there are your magnetic lines at 193 angstroms. Let's look at more data, such as the real-time solar wind. Alright, no major shifts going on in the BTBZ right now. Phi angles dancing around. That could be a coronal hole magnetic connection there, which we are waiting for to happen. Solar wind density 7.04 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed has subsided a bit to 412 kilometers per second. Next, we'll have a look at spaceweathernews.com. There was a tiny X-ray flux yesterday. Tiny little flare there. Not even into the B range, but more activity than we'd seen from that perspective. Now, the magnetometer perturbations we forecasted yesterday just straight up didn't happen. So I don't know if that's because the fields are so similar on both sides of the heliospheric current sheet or not, but the Gong 2 shows it was crossed, so struck out on that forecast. K-index, the KP is down to 1, and there has been a cosmic ray increase, which we will cover in more detail in a moment. There is your Cygnets forecast. Electron flux has still been dipping each day, although yesterday's downtick was not as high as the day before. And this will probably spring back up a little higher today. No charging hazards. And the F2 layer is extremely discharged and has been for the last couple of days. This is actually the weakest it's been at this time of day since the summer, I'd say. There's your auroral forecasts. Here's the Gong 2, which will reflect the crossing of the current sheet. Right there you can see the two different polarities. Green associated with negative North Pole, and red associated with positive South Pole. You can see there was a moment there when the Earth was, according to the Gong 2, not connected. See if I can get to that frame. See that frame there? There's no orange line. So at that point, the connection was probably to both sides. Anyway, let's let that play through again. This data nearly 2 hours old. And congratulations, you've made it to the other side of the current sheet without anything major happening. Next, we'll look at the magnetosphere movies, which are quite interesting. Here's the velocity. You'll see a huge change in the velocity here at the end. Here's the density. Same thing, you're going to be able to see a low density wave come in here at the end. Here comes a low density wave. And lastly, you'll see the pressure drop off as well. Down to a very low pressure. Check it out. Super weak magnetosphere. Let's see how that affects ground-based geospace here. First looking at polar magnetic perturbations here. Should be some pretty big pulses there. And indeed there are. And they are global in scale. Let's see how it looks like on the full globe map. Toward the end here, you should see a big pulse. Pretty much around the whole world there. Let's play that again. Looks like it's spreading from east to west. Check it out. Thanks, University of Michigan. Next, we'll check out quakes.globalincidentmap.com for the slight earthquake uptick. Last 11 hours, we've got Indonesia with a 4.4. Northern East Pacific rise with a 4.4. And 9 minutes later, a 4.6 in that same region. El Salvador with a 4.3, 4.8 in New Zealand at extreme depth, so New Zealand should be on alert for a 5+. Check it out, 264 kilometers. Let's see where that one was located. Kind of in between New Caledonia and Tonga. 4.7 in New Caledonia. No other quakes of note. Let's check out volcanodiscovery.com for today's volcano action. New on the list is Kerinci. Located in Sumatra. They've got a 12,000 foot ash plume there. Popocatépetl. Volcanic ash has dissipated. Turrialba, 12,000 foot ash plume. Sabancaya, intermittent puffs of volcanic ash. Planchon Petaroa, 16,000 foot ash plume. And don't forget Shivaluch. It was still explosively erupting yesterday. Will probably continue today. Next, major snowstorm to immobilize travel in Mideast and Northwest. Here's your U.S. Doppler radar map from AccuWeather.com. Heavy bands of thunderstorms in the south. Heavy snow in the north central. As it moves east, the northeast is gonna get inundated. Snowing all the way down into Texas. And we still have this atmospheric river situation going on here in the northwest. Next, let's take a look at GFS total snowfall on tropicaltidbits.com to give you an idea of where it will be. Let's just advance this a couple frames here. All right, so that frame there is through midnight. So that's midnight tonight. And by (18 Zulu) tomorrow, quite a bit of snow. The snow will continue to fall in the central U.S. and then add a little bit of insult to injury to the Northeast. Let's bring that back. Let's see here. There you go. That should be the situation according to the GFS model in about 24 hours. Next, we'll show you the NASA GOES water vapor satellite to help our viewers gain a better understanding of meteorology. Remember, dry air like this tends to be colder and more massive than moist air because of the molecular weight of nitrogen, which makes up most of our atmosphere, about 78%. Also, these dry areas are associated with high pressure, and these moist areas are associated with low pressure. Also, the dry areas are associated with positive charge, and the wet areas are associated with negative charge. Anyway, what's happening here is you can see the jet stream is coming way down, coming way back up, pulling very cold air, which is then mixing together with this warmer moisture out of the south. And as the jet stream wants to force its way to the east, so does it force the moisture. We'll leave links to this one too, timeanddate.com. Get your moon phases. And if you were not aware, total lunar eclipse will be visible through a big portion of the northern hemisphere. In eastern PA, partial eclipse begins at 10:33 p.m. Total eclipse begins at 11:41 p.m. Total eclipse ends at 12:43. So if you're willing to stay up for that, have fun. Next, let's talk about cold weather driving. What's up with those snow tires? Anybody? Anybody? The difference between a winter tire and an all-season tire is the softness of the tire compound. Softer tires get better grip in the snow. Non-winter tires tend to harden and lose their grip. That's the main difference. This article, pretty decent article explaining it. And something we'd like to do and have not done yet is get a set of winter tires and a set of cheap wheels so we can just change them out at home. Next, let's do a phys.org article. Now, who's ever gone outside and seen a shooting star? I mean, shooting stars, so beautiful, right? Well, guess what Japan's done? They've launched a satellite to deliver artificial meteors. What a great idea, dudes. Thanks, Japan. Super smart. They're going to create a shooting stars on demand service. There's a lot of dumb ideas out there, and these folks here are pioneering dumb ideas. Check it out. It carries 400 tiny balls whose chemical formula is a closely guarded secret. Oh my gosh! Great idea, guys! There should be enough for 20 to 30 events, and one shower may involve up to 20 stars. Seriously, what a great idea. We really need to waste millions of dollars on artificial meteors, right? Thanks, dudes! And we will leave links to that ridiculous article. Actually, the article's fine. The artificial meteor program is ridiculous. You got some big-time filament activity going on, which we're viewing here in 304 angstroms. See, now aren't you glad you stayed tuned until the end of the video? Thanks, subscribers. Thanks, everybody leaving comments and sharing the channel on your social media. We greatly appreciate it. And we'll be doing it again tomorrow. By the way, we make these videos for ourselves and our family just as much as we do for our subscribers. We'd be doing it with 0 subscribers. If you've got any ideas for the 900 subscriber special, please leave a comment. Check out the filaments. That one settled back down. I think there was a small ejection over here. Nope, it looks like it went back down into the corona. Or into the chromosphere, really. There you have it. Remember, on your way driving in snow, don't drink. And if you drink, don't drive in snow. And don't drive. At all.